So you've got a physics test coming up. You're studying and you're overwhelmed with the multitudes of different problems that might appear on the test. And the question on your mind is, what should I study? What should I focus on? Surely I can't be expected to memorize all these different types of problems. And you're right. That wouldn't be reasonable, and that's not what you're expected to learn in a physics class. Physics is about empowering you with a set of core ideas that will let you solve dozens, hundreds, thousands of problems. Imagine you can fly. It's a lot of fun soaring around, feeling the wind in your hair and your clothes. You come to a glade of trees. From above, all you can see is leaves. Thousands and thousands of leaves. Your gaze settles on one specific leaf. There's nothing particularly special about it. It's green. It's got a shape. You think, if I tried to get to know every single leaf in this glade, that would be an unreasonable task. Nobody could do it. Still, you're curious. You hover down past the leaves to see what's underneath them and discover they're all connected to a small handful of trees. And you think, I may not be able to know all of the leaves, but surely I can learn these 10 trees. So you pull out your phone and learn how to identify trees. And you learn that each type of tree has a differently shaped leaf. Suddenly, inspiration hits you. You bound up past the leaves again and look down, and you realize you can identify the leaves now. That one right there is an oak leaf, and it comes from the same tree as all the other oak leaves. That one's a maple leaf, and it comes from the same tree as all the other maple leaves. You didn't have to memorize the thousands of leaves to get to know them. You just needed to know the 10 trees. Physics is like that. The problems are like the leaves, and the core ideas are like the trees. By learning how to apply the core ideas, you can solve problems you've never seen before. You can figure out which core idea applies to the problem by reading it thoroughly and looking for keywords and phrases. Suppose a problem gives you an object with a number of forces on it. The core idea it's testing you on is, can you apply Newton's second law by identifying the forces, drawing the free body diagram, and filling out Newton's second law equation? The sum of the forces equals mass times acceleration. If you see the keywords velocity and height together, along with maybe spring and friction, that means you want to use conservation of energy. If two objects are colliding or exploding, the core idea is conservation of momentum. If the problem talks about distances, velocities, and accelerations, use kinematics. And if something is rotating, you can use all the same equations as for linear motion, but swap out the linear variables for rotational variables. And the same thing applies to any physics subject, whether you're studying fluids or electric circuits or relativity or quantum physics. The purpose of physics is not to teach you problems, but to teach you the core concepts and methods for solving the problems. A good physics test will give you problems that are simple, but have a twist in them that you've never seen before. If you've only memorized the homework, you won't be able to solve them. But if you can apply the core ideas, you'll be able to solve them no problem. So how can you focus your studying energy on these core ideas? One way is to read the chapter titles in the textbook. Newton's second law, kinematics in 2 dimensions, work and energy. These titles tell you the core idea you can learn from that chapter. So when you read, for example, the work and energy chapter, you're not just skimming through the text, you're learning how to apply the core concept of work and energy. Another great resource is YouTube. And no, I'm not saying that just because I'm a YouTuber. There are video essays, there are presentations, sample problems worked out, professors put up lectures on YouTube. It is a gold mine for learning. Finally, one of the best ways to identify and focus on those core ideas is good guidance, like a one-on-one relationship with a tutor. If you think that's something that would work for you, you can visit physicstutorchris.com for more information, link in the description. And if you'd like more free studying advice and sample problems worked out, you're welcome to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching. Happy studying.